Puberty syndrome is a series of unusual or supernatural events that are triggered by the emotional, psychological, and physical effects of puberty.
Now, how does this connect to bunny girls? Rascal does not dream of bunny girl senpai uses this phenomenon to an exaggerated degree to portray mental health issues that arise during puberty.
The anime opens up with our main character, Sakuta, waking up to finding a note in his diary that doesn't remember writing about a bunny girl in the library that no one else could see.
He sees her walking around aimlessly, trying to get the attention of other people. When he does approach her, she seems quite glad that he does see her, and swiftly retreats out of the library.
That bunny girl is Mai Sakurajima, and she's a celebrity.
Mai models for a living, so what is she doing in a bunny girl suit at a library?
After leaving the library, the main character wakes up in his bed with his little sister sleeping in bed next to him.
His younger sister, Kaede, an amnesiac with a brother complex, she often wears a panda onesie and is very scared of leaving the house.
Sakuta spots Mai on his way to school and asks one of his friends whether or not they could see her, which they could, meaning that for some reason the people at the library couldn't.
Sakuta decides to confront Mai on why she was wearing a bunny girl outfit around the library. She explains that for some reason, no one can see her, so she wears a bunny girl outfit around the library, hoping that someone notices her in that strange outfit. After this, they pull up to Sakuta's house and he shows her the scar on his chest. He's had this scar and it's due to puberty syndrome, but no one believes him or he even humors his idea of it.
They go around walking as friends, and then one morning he runs into Tomoe. This girl, Tomoe, pulls up, kicks him in the butt, offers to have him kick her in the butt as repayment.
Remember, this girl should become relevant later. Mai and Sakuta started growing closer as friends and started hanging out more. But then more and more people started forgetting about who Mai was. Less people recognized her, and less people could see who she was. To a point where her own mother walked right past her and forgot she even existed. They even took things drastically and traveled to a different city to see if people there knew who she was. Even being a model and famous, no one recognized her.
Mai and Sakuta share a hotel room together, where they have some freaky moments.
You better not peek.
No need to fret. I could easily fill up 3 times just from hearing the shower.
But sleeping next to Mai, he can't fall asleep. He gets a call from Futaba, who reveals that sleeping actually causes you to forget about her. So if he would have slept that night, he would have forgotten about Mai. She left the showbiz, and because of that, now she's not getting as much recognition.
And it's that fear that's
Yeah.
causing her to actually be invisible.
Sakuta, determined to save Mai, does his best to not sleep for the next few days, even though he has tests. But Mai sees this and she's like, "You have to sleep, bro." So she sleeps in some melatonin pills into his drink so that he finally falls asleep forgetting her.
Sakuta, after waking up and finding the note he left in his diary, slowly starts to remember who Mai was and confesses his love in front of the entire school for her, allowing them to remember and see her again.
Mai felt invisible because she was in the show business her whole life, but eventually quit because her mom put too much pressure on her. She was used to being the center of attention, so when she wasn't, she started to feel invisible, isolated, and from the fear of actually becoming invisible, she did.
Her emotional distress manifested physically as an invisibility to other people. Similar to the Schrodinger cat theory that was brought up in the show, that if it's not observed, you can't know if it's there for sure. Same way that she's not being observed, so she goes by unnoticed. The clear solution to get everyone to notice her is to make a very big display of attention onto her, bringing her back to being the display of attention and no longer causing her to be unseen by everyone.
Sakuta starts dating Mai, but then at the end of the day, it starts over from the beginning. He notices this and he's very confused, but he goes through the day as normal. After the third loop, he goes to meet Futaba, who explains that he's not actually in the future, he's just perceiving it from the past. He finds this girl, Tomoe, as mentioned earlier. After finding Tomoe, he realizes that she's repeating the day until she gets the optimal solution. So by giving her that solution, the day stops looping and he escapes it. Tomoe starts fake dating Sakuta to keep her popularity on the rise, because that's the main reason why she was looping, which Mai is fine with for some reason. Once they go on their final date before spring break, they both agree that they're going to break up after this. But when they do, the day repeats once again. Sakuta's confused. He's like, does she remember this? But she denies remembering it. He realizes that she's lying. She does remember this, and that she actually is in love with him and wants to stay with him. But he has to explain that he will forever be in love with Mai, no matter how many loops that they do. Realizing this, Tomoe lets him go and repeats the day back from the first loop so he can date Mai normally.
Her determination to want everything to go the perfect way that she intended it to physically manifested itself as the day repeating until she got the outcome that she so desired, and it kept going until she had her way. If it wasn't perfect or she didn't like it, then it restarted.
Sakuta and Mai are walking around together when they spot Futaba going into an internet cafe all by herself.
They try calling her, which she does answer, but the Futaba that they're looking at is not on her phone. So is this an imposter? The imposter reveals that there's multiple Futabas, each with their own physical bodies, memories, and personalities. Futaba sleeps over with Sakuta and Mai, where they, get back to their freaky action.
Good night.
Yep. Good night.
In the morning, Sakuta approaches the other Futaba and questions her. She isn't malicious or an imposter, she's just as clueless as the other.
It is revealed that Futaba has been posting not so good images of herself on the internet for all to see on a secret burner account. She made the account in order to spite herself and to get attention from others. She didn't like the way people looked at her, but she still posted herself on the account just so they would give her attention. She liked the attention she received, but she didn't like how she got it. The ends didn't really justify the means though.
One of the Futabas and Sakuta hang out with her crush, but when the other Futaba sees this, she gets very jealous and tries to run away as a form of punishment, realizing that she's not good enough. Sakuta finds the other Futaba, tries to comfort her, and when that Futaba calls the other Futaba, saying that she wants to go to the fireworks with them, she vanishes. They combine back into one, and she finally accepts herself for who she is.
Her body physically developed faster than others, so she saw herself way more mature than other people. This caused a split between seeking attention and not wanting attention, standing out because of how she looked compared to other people her age. Having body dysmorphia physically manifested itself as splitting to two different people as she wanted two different things.
So when she finally accepted herself for who she is, I quit wanting attention.
The attention-seeking Futaba and the one who didn't attention-seek merged back into one, accepting herself for who she was.
Mai doesn't show up to school, so when Sakuta goes looking around for her, he finds her sneaking. But when he does approach her, she completely forgets about him. She reveals that she's not Mai, but rather her younger sister, Nodoka. Mai and her sister have switched bodies, which Sakuta can't tell until Mai, in Nodoka's body, steps on him.
Freaky.
It really is you.
You know from being stepped on? What kind of weird bird are you?
They have to continue living each other's lives in secrecy until the issue is resolved, causing many issues.
Nodoka being an idol and Mai being a model, with them both being in separate bodies, they have to figure out a way to live in each other's lives.
Nodoka was often compared to Mai by her own mother. This pressure was too much for her, so she runs away from home and stays with Mai for a while. But for some reason they switch bodies because of it. Sakuta hangs out with both of them equally. He doesn't value one over the other.
Why do you keep staring at my legs?
They're awesome.
Don't you dare objectify my big sister's body!
I wish they'd sandwich me. Let me make it clear, I mean my face.
Mai gives Sakuta a spare key temporarily so that he can access her apartment where Nodoka is currently staying in. She tells him specifically not to open a cabinet, which he goes and does anyway. The stuff in his cabinet is more relevant later. Mai, in Nodoka's body, performs a concert when Nodoka's mother is present, and she actually compliments her and praises her. It makes Nodoka very unhappy to see her mother praise Mai in her own body for stuff that she's been doing her whole life. The cabinet mentioned earlier has a bunch of letters left to Mai by Nodoka, showing that she treasures them and values them, which makes Nodoka very happy that the person that she's looked up to acknowledges her. So they accept each other and embrace each other, and their bodies revert back to normal.
They were both envious of each other's lives, each other as people, then it caused it to physically manifest as switching into each other's bodies to live the other person's lives. And then in the end, they didn't truly want to be the other person, and it was resolved when they embraced who they truly were, and they wanted to be themselves, and they were content in their own bodies, and they loved each other, hugged, and then they swapped back to normal.
Kaede, Sakuta's younger sister, will not leave the house no matter how much Sakuta tries to convince her to do so. She has a list of goals she wants to do to eventually leave the house.
After progressing through these tasks she has set for herself, she gets closer and closer to regaining her memory. If she regains her old memory, she will lose her new memory, in effect, killing the new Kaede.
Sakuta eventually helps her leave the apartment and go further and further away, until eventually she's able to go to the zoo to see pandas, which she loves a lot. In that same night that she went to the zoo, she also went to school. It was empty as it was nighttime, but this was still a big step for her, and she felt as if she can go during the daytime.
But when he had woken her up in the morning to bring her to school, she had regained her new memory and lost all memory of everything else past losing her old memory, killing the new Kaede that Sakuta had come to know.
Kaede lost her memories because she had a traumatic experience with bullying.
She didn't just forget the bullying, she forgot everything. She woke up one morning and didn't know anything about who her family was or who she was, causing her to talk in third person all the time. Her brother had to reteach her everything, but once she had gained the courage to do things herself and go back to independence and working order, the new Kaede that was formed from the memory loss mental block was gone and she was back to normal. But this destroyed her brother, ravaged him up so badly to the point where he gave him...
This is Shoko, Sakuta's childhood crush, and the person to comfort him when he lost Kaede the first time.
Once he had lost her for the second time and he was extremely ravaged and broken up by this, she had returned the first time in 2 years to help him through it again. But in the end, no one has ever seen this girl. No one knows she exists but him. He wasn't even able to find her. She's brought up earlier in the show, but even through extensive searching, they can't find who this girl is. She's even revealed to be a younger, very much smaller girl. So she exists, but not quite how he knows her. She doesn't seem to be very real. She only appears when he needs someone the most and no one's there, essentially being his imaginary cope tool. This depression caused from essentially the feeling of losing his sister twice, as she forgot everything 2 times. The gash in his chest that he had received the first time when she had lost his sister was an effect from the puberty syndrome, profusely bleeding the first time and coming back the second time when he had lost his sister again, representing his feelings of depression, permanently marked on him. But as soon as he was feeling better and the depression was gone, both times she disappeared and never heard from anyone again. Although she did leave him a note. After his imaginary cope tool was gone and he woke up in the morning, there was a note left by her for some reason somehow.
She was a literal representation of his depression. When he was depressed, she was there. When he wasn't, she wasn't. She was like his imaginary friend that got him through tough times.
Now for our ratings of the show. We're gonna do freak ratings first.
4,
3.
Also got 3.
Alright. Peak ratings. I put this peak at a 9.
9.
I said 9.
We have a freak score of 3.33 and a peak score of 9.
Pretty good show.
That's so cool.
I'm so tired. Subscriber get touched, bro.